First principle here is relax your body, relax your eyes, and relax your heart. And when I say relax your heart, I mean literally the musculature, the tension in your chest, around the heart, even into the solar plexus, this whole area right here. Note how often you're holding tension in your body as you're communicating. Notice especially the unconscious guarding, that shield we talked about, that exists in the soma, in the body. So notice if you're like around somebody and your body just unconsciously tightens up, start to note that and try to relax it. If you're in a conversation with somebody that might be a little bit intimidating, they might be the like alpha, so to speak, in that situation, do what you can to relax your body. Next, nonverbal principle, find comfort within the discomfort of the communication. Develop the ability to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And you do that by being accurate about your level of discomfort. So if you feel a little bit uncomfortable as you're talking to that intimidating person, the thing to not do is try not to be uncomfortable. That will only amplify the discomfort. So in that situation, again, just, okay, I'm uncomfortable. So what? Relax your body. Just be uncomfortable until you're not. That's the solution. If you're comfortable about your discomfort, you will be more comfortable. And the deeper point is that discomfort is normal. There's some level of discomfort in like almost all communication that you do. And that's normal. That's normal. We're all defending ourselves all the time. So be accurate about that and non-resistant towards it. And one sort of psychological antidote to that discomfort is a principle, maybe I expect many of us have heard of this, but the spotlight effect in psychology. Are we familiar with this? It's very simple. In everybody's mind, the spotlight is on them. And so they're not thinking about you and your discomfort, they're thinking about themselves and their discomfort. And so if the spotlight is on us all the time, then don't worry what others are thinking about you, because they're not thinking about you, they're thinking about themselves. The next one, this is on a more nuanced level. This is a corollary with our Qigong principle. Energy follows attention. Whatever you put your attention on, you feed energy to. The principle here in nonverbal communication is focus positive. Focus on the positive aspects of the person you're communicating with, and you will feed energy to those aspects. If you speak to the best within the other person, they will be at their best with you. And if they're at their best with you, they're really going to like being around you. We like others who we feel like our best version of ourselves when we're with them. So you can think about like, how does it feel when somebody focuses on all of your negative qualities constantly? You can feel that shit. It sucks. How do you feel when people are like seeing you, the parts of you that you want to be seen, and appreciating them? It's amazing. And so tune your awareness towards the positive aspects of them. And what happens is you actually feed them, like infusing them with energy, and you amplify those aspects of them, and you help them in real time just with your attention and your awareness. That's what ends up happening. And that's in like stark contrast to what most people do, which is just competition. I'm better than you. I'm the alpha, you're the beta, like all of this jockeying, and that's natural and normal. But what would happen if you were the one not competing, just focusing on the best in the other person and encouraging that? What would happen? What would you present yourself as to that other person? Confident. You present confidence not by trying to position yourself as better than the other person, but by focusing on the best in the other person, because it implies that you have such a surplus that you don't need to generate it for yourself. You can just give it freely. Next principle, speaking with your body, or speak with your body. And that doesn't mean all erratic, like this kind of shit. It just means that your body is also speaking. And a frame here you could think of is, what is your body saying? If I'm sitting here like this, or if I'm just sitting here like this, what is my body saying right now? And then what's my body saying right now? Listening, or I'm saying something important, right? So leaning back, leaning in, say different things. If I'm contracted, what does it say? Afraid, protective, hiding something maybe not trustworthy, maybe weak. We signal our own weakness to people this way. And then if I'm just open, what am I saying? It's different, right? So your body is always speaking. It's always speaking. And the other thing that speaks, and you don't want to get crazy with this, the other thing that speaks, obviously, is your hands. Your hands speak. And what you don't want to do is like a bunch of contrived hand shit at the same time. But you could see your hands almost like, I don't know, like what the bass is to the melody in a song. They provide emphasis. See? And if it's fine for your hands to just be neutral as well, it's fine. But it is a little bit better if you can emphasize what you're saying and get in the habit of allowing your body to express itself. Your body's kind of an extension of the words that you're saying. See? And if I say extension, I'm actually extending. My body is telling you. That's the early stages of what's called transmission, is I'm embodying what I'm saying. And all of this, as always, the thing to remind yourself, and I'll do this multiple times in this session, is natural, spontaneous. It's not planned. Okay, what am I saying and how can I match my hand cue, and how can I... That's the opposite. It's just fluidly allowing your body to express itself. And what helps with this? What makes this natural and spontaneous? Presence. All of the meditation, Qigong work we do is immediately reflected in the way your body's held. Immediately, all the time. Like, people with a strong practice tend to have a really strong presence. So all of these practices feed into this. And then finally, if there's one thing, we could do a whole session on this. It's going to sound simple on the surface. Don't underestimate this. Start by listening. The way a teacher explained this to me is 0 comes before 1. 0. Meaning I'm not speaking. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to say. I'm not planning my response. 0 means receiving. This is master key communication skill. Seek to understand them fully before you jump to reply. Otherwise, it's a little bit like dancing off the beat of the music. You're jumping to reply because you want to say something, or thinking you know the answer already. But if you don't have all the information yet, how many times have all of us been planning the response in our head as the other person's talking and thinking we know exactly what to say? Now, how many times have you been planning a response in your head and then the conversation flows in a different direction and you want to bring it back and pull it back to that thing that you wanted to say in your mind, and then you say it and there's a disconnect in the conversation? We all had that experience. So The objective is start by listening and keep listening always throughout the whole communication and flow with the conversation wherever it goes. Spontaneity is done in the moment. You could see it as like fresh communication versus stale communication. Each thought that you have immediately begins to expire and oxidize as soon as you have it. So there's this, like, I think to say something, and then I don't say it, and then 5 seconds goes by, it's a little more stale. 10 seconds go, it's a little more stale. Fresh communication feels different. It feels different. It's a joke that you're like planning and thinking of in your head, and then you kind of like, oh, this is going to be so funny, and you say it, and it's like kind of funny, but like it doesn't land. And then the joke you just randomly say like off the top of your head in the moment, and it lands, and there's a big difference. It's fresh and spontaneous versus like, oh, this is kind of like lifeless. You could see it that way. And specifically, there's a few things you're listening for. So yes, you're listening for the flow of the conversation. Where is the conversation going? The verbal aspect. But you're also listening to the other person's emotions and their energy. That's a little bit more advanced, a little bit more nuanced, but it's easy to do. Everyone here is doing it all the time. So what is the other person's emotional reality? What do they need from me right now? In 2016, who here was following EGT back then? We were just about to launch the first program with Drew Hanlon, EGT 2.0. So I'm in New York with my business partner. We had hired a new video editor who also lived in New York to edit all the footage from Drew's program. This guy turned out to not be the best. He was like taking Adderall every few hours and staying up for 3 days straight and like cracked out, anxious, trying to get this done by the time our deadline rolled around. And instead of letting us know that he was behind, he basically just had a full-blown breakdown and freaked out and accused my business partner and I of like pushing him too hard, and this is all our fault. How could you do this? Like, you gave me an impossible project. And I mean, none of that was true, at least in my opinion. But my business partner was like, fuck this motherfucker, gets on the phone, and he's about to just chew him out. And he's like, we're firing him. I'm going to find somebody else. And I was like, we're 3 days from releasing this program. We're not going to find another video editor. It's this guy, or we delay the release like 3 weeks. Nobody's going to get it done faster. This guy's already gotten it half done. He's being an asshole, but like, fuck do you care? Like, we have a result we need. So he's like fuming. I take the phone from him and I called the video editor. It's like, hey man, what's going on? You sound upset. He's like, oh man, this is fucking bullshit. Like, I was like, yeah, like it's so much work. I know we're working like crazy over here too. Dude, like it's all good. It sounds like you could use some sleep. Do you want to just take the night off? And he's like, oh, that would be amazing. I'm like, yeah. No, it's totally fine. I get it. We're crammed over here too. It was a super hard project. We'll push it back a few days. Whatever you need, let me know. Get some sleep. Do you need anything? Can I bring you something? It's all good. Don't worry about it. I totally get how you're feeling. I'm feeling that way too. And he completely calms down. He was done a day later. If my business partner had reacted and fired him, it would have been a month late, at least. So listen to the energy and the emotions, as well as what they're saying, of course. But like, what he was saying was just bullshit. It was nonsense. It was a dysfunctional expression of what he was feeling, which is just tired. Tired and overstimulated and strung out and all of that. And I was like, okay, what does a tired, overstimulated, strung out person need? A little bit of comfort and sleep. Emotional comfort and sleep. Validate his experience. It's totally valid. I get it. And we move on. It's all good. Take the pressure off, in other words. So start by listening not only to the words, but to the emotion and energy. And finally, what you're listening for are points of resistance. Where am I directing the conversation that this person doesn't really want to go? What am I doing that's putting their guard up and I'm trying to just barrel through it? It can be overt. People can react, but often it's subverbal, nonverbal. It's a feeling. It's like, oh, not quite there. The first way is you respect the point of resistance. You don't continue pushing into it. That's the obvious one. The next one is you back off a little bit, take your time, and then re-engage a little more. If you have to go in that direction for some reason, or it's by your own assessment, that's where the conversation should go, and it would be of benefit to both of you that it goes there, but the other person's holding back a little bit. In that case, again, just back off, let them like lower their shield again, and then tactfully you re-engage. There was an ex-girlfriend of mine and I had this issue where when things would get emotionally difficult, her pattern would be to freeze. And she would get really quiet and like not engage. She wouldn't go there. And my pattern was to want to fix it immediately. So you see how those two things are total counter forces. I'm pushing her and she's freezing more. I had to sit with my own discomfort around not solving it. And if I would do that and not pressure her and just that initial freeze response, allow it to thaw and clear, and then I'd re-engage whenever the time was right, or more often she would re-engage with me and say like, oh, about that thing. And then we deal with it, everything was smoother. So there's a right time and a right degree of openness in the communication that you want to look for with points of resistance. So I'm zooming in on this point so much. Start by listening, because this is a sort of master key level principle in communication. And I just want to get the point across as deeply as I can. It should not be underestimated. And you do this by relaxed outward attention. Relaxed outward attention. Anytime you feel your attention collapsing back in on itself, like, oh, how am I being viewed right now? Defensive. Relax and direct your attention back outwards on listening. Paul commented, he's like, I get why this is called this is the Riz talk. This is real Riz, not fake, contrived, scripted. It's like, how do you develop into your own unique self-expression in a way that's good for you and for the other person and for all involved? Not just how do I get what I want out of this person through contriving and manipulating. Hey, it's Taylor. I hope you enjoyed today's clip. And if you did, here's where you can go deeper right now. So my favorite part of the work that I do here is a daily email newsletter that I write every morning on the topics of human development and human potential, life strategy, training the mind, productivity and life optimization, and generally speaking, the path to self-mastery. And so if you enjoy these talks, I know you're going to love the newsletter. And if you'd like to check it out, hit the link in the description or head over to taylorallen.me and you can sign up free of charge. I hope we see you there.